What is the hope in a world like ours today?
What is the hope? You know, we look. I started the poem off, you know, looking at the bad, and then the conclusion of the poem is looking at the good. Our hope is love. You know, all we can do, in order to have external peace in the world, we have to first have internal peace in ourselves. And once you can love yourself, you're able to love everybody. So it's love. The answer to all the problems are really love. To be kind, to be patient, to be gentle, compassionate. So yeah.
Does it feel at times, though, that love is unpopular? I mean, you mentioned, one of your verses was, what's popular is more important than what's right. And I can't say amen loud enough to that. Does it feel that a loving response or a loving nature is unpopular in our society? Oh,
definitely, definitely. I mean, our gender roles, like masculinity, is created on aggression. You know, not to show these things. And in order to, we think in order to succeed in life, we have to get over on people. You know, we have to use the 50 laws of power to manipulate people. But so people are scared that they don't want to lose their positions of powers or their career. So they have to act tough. You know, they have to get by in a dog-eat-dog world. But you don't have to. You know, all it takes is you realizing that just being compassionate to people, you can be successful, because that in itself is success, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I mean, this is so, like, I think they can make a course study based on this particular video. I mean, they just teach it in schools, really. I mean, because you even get into, you know, technology. You say technology gave us everything we want, but it's taken everything that we need, which it was supposed to make our lives easier, you know, the iPhones and, you know, and tablets and iPads and laptops and, you know, being able to create and upload, you know, just with a couple of clicks. And instead, what is it? We feel we're anemic. What happened? What did we miss? It should be easier for us to be fulfilled. Why not?
Yeah, it's created a lot of distraction. We kind of prefer a electronic representation of the world to the world itself nowadays. You know, it's distracting. I mean, but at the same time, technology has a beautiful side. You know, without technology, would I have been able to share my video to millions of people? Would we be able to connect with people globally?
Right.
So it's really, it's not the devices that are the real problem. It's how we respond and relate to the devices, how we become addicted to these devices. So,
yeah, I agree. Tell me a little bit about your background, because you're an artist, you're a musician, rapper, spoken word artist. You're like a neo Ginsberg in a postmodern beat poet era, for the lack of a better way to describe it. But you've been through. You did MTV, you did the Made series, you've performed with Ludacris. Tell me about your background, because the path that you have walked. When people go to Hollywood, and I was talking with another musician about this the other day, when people go to Hollywood, they go there, they get lost, they get corrupted, they get they come back with a message that's anything but love. How are you the opposite of that? What affected you? What made it to where you didn't lose yourself?
Very good question. In order to lose yourself, well, it's not even about losing yourself. I think people have to find yourself, because once you find yourself, who you truly are, there's nothing that can happen to you that can dissuade you from this. You know, once you take away all the accolades, you know, I went to college, I graduated, top of my class, got my degree in anthropology, but that's not really who I am. You know, all of these things that equate to Prince E, that come up with Prince E, is not really who I am. And you know, a couple years ago, doing some inner searching for who am I. When you take away the behavior patterns, you take away the accolades, take away your race, you take away all these things that people tell you are a part of your identity and your personality, what are you left with? And when I realized what I was left with was pure just consciousness, and which transcends race. And you know, I don't really care about the money anymore. I don't care about the fame anymore. These things don't make me happy. What makes me happy is just being in peace and helping other people out of suffering. So that's it. Just having developing my foundation. I don't think I would be corrupted. Because there's nothing that people can offer me that's more beautiful than what I already have.
You know, it takes people their whole lives to come to that realization. I mean, if I was unfamiliar with you and didn't know what you'd look like, I'd say, well, he's talking like a 90-year-old, because it takes people their whole lives to come to that realization that you just shared. I want to ask you this too. You had shared, speaking of sharing, you put up on your Facebook page, because my boss over here at the Blaze, Glenn Beck, had shared this video, and this is how we all came to share it here at headquarters in Dallas, and we were all emailing it to each other, and you know, everybody was commenting on it. You shared the fact that he had posted this up on your Facebook page. What was the reaction to that? It seemed to me it was a little ironic, because here you have this like amazing, powerful message of how we need to treat each other. And did people take your lesson on that? What is your response to just the reaction to what you shared?
Honestly, the reaction was 90-something% positive.
Good.
I mean, there were a few people that you know, obviously disagreed, but that's fine. But I've gotten messages every second, every 5 seconds I get a new message telling me that, hey Prince, you said what I thought I've been thinking my entire life. You had the courage to actually say these words. So, and that means a lot to me. The fact that I can actually touch people on such a visceral level, such a core touching level is amazing. So the reaction has been positive. I think that we all have these beliefs and these ideas within us. The idea that love is the way to go, that compassion and patience is the way to go. But our society tells us otherwise. So there's resistance. But deep down, we have these things, and we are these pure beings of love inside of all of us, you know. So that's kind of that's what came out, you know. That's what's been coming out from people.